Hey, welcome back to the channel, guys. Yeah, I know it's been a bit since I posted the last video, but work gets in the way and just haven't had time to do any videoing. But yeah, just since the cold weather is upon us, and I've been wanting to put a new platform underneath this stove because it's been sitting on these cindercrete blocks for a couple of years. But I find every now and then when it's extremely cold out and get to the minus 40s and 35 Celsius and minus 40, stuff like that. I started getting a little condensation coming up underneath these cinder blocks because the blocks are warm and the floor is cold underneath. Because in fact, it's in the corner there. It's kind of on the cold side of the shop here too. But it's also kind of a little rocky. It's not, concrete's not exactly perfectly flat. Kind of hard pressed to find any shop's got a perfectly flat concrete floor. So I want to build this platform that so I can get this thing mounted on there, and then I can level it. But these cinder blocks, I'm going to put them up. I got some more, and I'm going to stack them up on each side of the stove, so it'll kind of collect some of the heat when the stove's going, and then after when the fire burns out, it'll kind of radiate a little extra heat a little bit longer. We'll see how that works anyway. But otherwise, I got these big old heat shields on there, like metal cladding, so it's spaced out 3.5 inches away from the wall. And then I got to fix that chimney up there yet. But yeah, that heavy aluminum foil tape definitely sealed it up. But I want to move it over about 6 inches and get it leveled out and whatnot. And kind of tired of trip here. Every time you bump one of these blocks and you keep kicking out and it collects all the ashes and stuff in between. So I got to keep moving them around. So if you're having that platform, it's going to be a whole lot better. And yeah, then I was out collecting firewood today, and yeah, I still got to go cut a whole bunch more. My last year's firewood supply kind of dwindled last winter, so I got enough to last the winter, but I want to kind of stay ahead of it. And I don't remember if you guys remember when I did that one video on putting that door on that old big truck sleeper I was going to use for either a storage container or wood storage or wood shed, because I used one for a wood shed. But these panels that come off the old washing machine that I salvaged, I'm not exactly sure how thick it is, but it's fairly heavy duty sheet metal, like it's a lot heavier than body panels. So, but it just happened it was the right size. It's the same width as what those concrete or those cinder blocks are. They're maybe an inch wider, and you put two of them back to back, it's the same length from front to back, which is perfect. So I went and cut some tubing up, and I just got to get it welded together, and I'm going to make some standoffs. I got some 3-inch channel iron. I'm going to drill a hole on one side here and kind of figure out the spacing and get it close to the webbing here. So I can stick a 1/2 inch bolt in there, and then I'll just take a piece of baler belting or something, put underneath the bolt so it doesn't keep wanting to scoot on the concrete. There's kind of a little skid proof thing. But that'll give me my leveling feet, and I'll just weld the other side onto the bottom of this. And plus it also gives me the ability to use my pallet jack to move it around. So having it spaced out, but yeah, like I said, with a little bit of condensation I've had underneath in the past, and so I figure this will alleviate that. Plus I get some airflow underneath it, and it'll kind of warm the concrete up in that corner, because I find it's kind of a couple little spots are kind of chipping out, so I'm not sure if it's the drastic difference from hot to cold or whatever the case may be. But I figure I'll get it a little, it'll be about the same height as what it is now, but at least I'll have some ventilation underneath, and a little bit easier to clean up the mess and when you spill ashes all over the place. But yeah, so I'm going to get set up here and start welding this up and bring you back when I get set up here. Okay, well, you can kind of see how it is going to work. Like with these here two paddles, the center one, it splits down the middle. I still got another bar to put in here. Whoops, where's my finger? Kind of the halfway part in here, and one on this side, which on the one side, the stove's going to kind of come right up to the center line here. And it'll line up with the back cross brace, and that'll be pretty much good there. But on the front here, because every now and then I'll be standing on it probably to adjust the damper or whatever. So I'll probably, once I put that cross brace across it here yet, because I got two more cross braces, I'll probably put a couple small cross braces in between, and at least that way it's not gonna, because I don't know how sturdy this will be to stand on. Probably not. I'm going to rivet it down anyway when the time comes, but yeah, I guess I got to grind all these welds down, but off camera I'll put the other braces in where I'm going to put them, and then grind all these welds off so it's smooth, and then I'll get those holes drilled out and tapped for my spacers. Because they'll just sit underneath the ends here like so. Be basically on the bottom side. See if that's upside down right now, but it'll be on the bottom side here. But so that'll be my leveling legs, but it's they're going to be the right height. Once I set the stove on there, then I can move it around the pallet jack to get it into position and whatnot. So that'll be kind of handy for, especially when I got to do clean out and stuff like that. Then I can move it around if I have to. But anyways, so yeah, I'll get that stuff ground down and off camera, and we'll take it from there. Bring it back when I get working on something else on here. Like I said, I'll get this ground up, get these other braces put in, and I'll see what it looks like. I'll bring you guys back then. See you in a bit. Hey, well guys, kind of made a little bit of headway on this, my wood stove platform. I ground, like in the last video there, so I was going to grind off some of these welds. Here, because I kind of ground off some of the welds where the main framework was. And got the three little cross braces in here. The only reason I'm putting these cross braces in, because when I go to adjust the damper, I'm maybe standing on it. I didn't want the sheet metal to bend, so just some scraps of tubing there, and I got three more pieces to cut out in here. I got two pieces. This here, one here. That's where the outline of the stove bracket is going to be, or the platform. It'll sit on there, so I don't have to put any more bracing around here because there's not going to be any weight on there. But the only reason I'm putting these cross braces on basically this will be the front side, and as I'll be looking at the stove, and the stove will be sitting on that there platform. But otherwise, yeah, kind of got a little bit of headway. I'll have to cut the three more little pieces to fit across here. I just got a chunk of T-bar stuck underneath just to hold it level, and I got to finish welding those in yet. But otherwise, right now what I'm working on is I got one made already, but this is kind of going to be my leveling feet. Okay, this is upside down, but it's going to go on the other side, on the bottom side here, but I'll weld them on, and then when I stand it up, at least then I can adjust these bolts so I can actually level it out. And so I just got a little bit of a pain trying to drill and tap this channel iron because it's a little bit of a goofy angle, but otherwise, yeah, I'll set you guys up. I'll get a couple drilled out here. I got one set up for drilling here, and I got this one and two more to make yet, and so I'll set you up, and I'll get these drilled and tapped, and I'll start, cut out some of those other pieces here, and hopefully I can get her done to that point, and get her ground down and give it a coat of paint, I guess, after, and I guess I'll have to probably make it a two-part video, because then when I go to actually mount the stove on it, I'll make that into a separate video, because I gotta cut some of the chimney off and replace it, and clean the chimney at the same time. But since it's turning colder, and yeah, we were calling for a whole bunch of snow, but then they changed their minds on that again. But anyways, get you set up here, and I'll get these holes drilled out. Get these holes drilled out, these last three pieces here. Yeah, I guess I could have went to the other shop and drilled it on the big drill press, but that means I'd have to go way over there, and at least this here way, at least I can, I don't have to keep going back and forth. And it's perfectly fine using this little drill press. There. Take these over to the death wheel there, and we'll just kind of deburr it. This is kind of my little death wheel here. Instead of using the soft wire wheel, I use it to deburr some of this stuff, but it gets the job done anyway. But it definitely deburrs the outside edges here. Yeah, it actually does a pretty nice job at taking that little burr from drilling off of there. Just speeds up the process a little bit anyway. Well, especially when I get these sharp burrs on the inside here, it's hard to get a deburring tool on the inside, so you definitely got to watch your fingers with this here depth wheel. If you just brush up against it, it'll rip part of your finger off. There. Yeah, it does a pretty decent job at getting on the inside, taking that burr off, and yeah, I could use a chamfering or countersink bit there to start it off for tapping, but it's working the way I'm doing it right now, so I'm gonna set you guys back up over here and we'll start tapping it. Okay, so I'm just gonna basically kind of set this up on here, and I just basically just center it up, and I just run a little bar through here. Well, so easier said than done. I think I'll just put my clamp. Oh, just about rolled my cart here. Or my chair rather. There we go. Just trying to get it centered on the hole here, but I'll just kind of get the tap started on here, and then I'll stick it in the vise and finish it by hand here. But as far as I'm going to go, it keeps slipping on me, so that just kind of gets it centered anyway. Yeah, it's kind of funny for a 1/2 inch tap. They actually call for 27/64 to drill it. I did one hole like that, and yeah, it was this one here. But I don't know if you guys can actually see, but it barely cut any threads in it. So I don't know. I even checked some of the other drill chart or drill charts for tapping, and so I figured out I end up going to 13/32 instead of the 27/64, which basically ends up being, 26/64. So we do 13/32. So just a 64th less, and yeah, definitely I end up cutting the full threads this way. Yeah, I just have to get it started so it kind of lines up straight. But yeah, I'm just surprised what they call for the drill size. It's technically the hole's too big. Like, it wouldn't take much to strip the bolt out if you torque it down too much. Because I even, with my tap and die set, like the chart that it comes with, that's what it was calling for, and I even checked my fasteners block book, and it called for the same thing, and And I don't know what's with that, but yeah, you just barely get any threads in there. But yeah, just go with that 1/64 smaller, and I get full depth thread cut in there. Okay, here's my other bolt here. But yeah, if you actually look inside, I don't know if you, how well it comes out, but you can see the threads are a whole lot better condition, and when I thread it in, it comes out perfect, and that'll be my little locks on there. So when for my adjusting feet, I'm probably going to throw these bolts in a lathe and these little emblems on it, because I want to put little rubber pads on the bottom, like just some little squares or whatever, but I want to chuck it up in a lathe, throw a couple nuts on there or whatever, and but just turn it down a little bit, but just leave a little point in the middle, so that when I'm adjusting the feet, my little rubber pad doesn't keep buggering off, and just have that little point in the center, and that'll kind of retain the rubber pad underneath it. Because it's not going to be overly heavy. Like, yeah, this stands a little overkill. But mind you, I guess that stove is fairly heavy, but so I just got tired of that stove constantly rocking all the time. Every time you bump it, the thing wants to shift over. So yeah, that's what I got going on here anyway. So I'll just maybe put you guys on time lapse here, and I'll get the other two tapped out, and we'll take it from there. All right, so I got these leveling feet all assembled here, and yeah, I did the last one there, just kind of free-handed instead of monkeying with the little drill press. Just that table's not exactly easy to hang on to this chunk of channel, because I don't have a vise on this here one, but it would have probably been a lot easier. But that's okay. It turned out pretty straight. The nut bottoms out on there flat, so it'll work. So yeah, I got 6 of these here done. At least I think I got them all done. Yeah, I guess. Oh yeah, here's the other one. Hey, there's 2 of them. And here's the other 4. So those are all ready to go. I'll have to probably wash them down with some brake clean before, or acetone before I weld it on, get that cutting oil off them. But anyways, so yeah, so I gotta cut up a few more pieces. I'll just put you guys on time lapse for that, and maybe throw that in there and get them welded in, and we'll take it from there. Well, guys, I was gonna cut off another piece off that other chunk of pipe, but had a little hunk of scrap sitting on the bandsaw already, and it happened to be exactly the right length. So, because I kind of questioned it, because it was kind of a little on the longer side, so grabbed it and it measured out. It's same thing. So Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and deburr these and wire on the wire wheel there, the death wheel, and we'll bring it back when I start welding it back in, or welding it in rather. Hey guys, kind of got up to this point now. Kind of got these three pieces that I cut up earlier. I got them just tacked in. I got to weld them out yet, and these two pieces I haven't tacked them in yet. I just measured it all out and lined it up, and so I'm gonna get to put you guys in time lapse, and I'll get this here welded out, and then this main frame will be done. I'll have to flip it over, weld the other side, and then tomorrow I'll take it outside and grind all the welds down so it's got a nice smooth finish on it, and then I'll weld those my leveling feet on it tomorrow, and yeah, so I'll put you guys in time lapse, and of course I may actually give you guys a bit of a hint on next project. Well, yes, I still got that one over there. It's in pieces. The engine's sitting right beside it right now. It's still in pieces. I gotta at least get the head back together. It's still sitting on my workbench. But this here one, I bought this thing. It runs, but it's got a blown head gasket. It's only like number one cylinder blew the head gasket on, and hopefully it didn't bend the connecting rod. But the price was right when I bought the things. I bought this one and another one. This one got three of them, but this here one and this other one that runs, but it's got a bad PTO clutch on it, and it was a loader tractor. And so yeah, that's gonna be my next project. Well, next video is gonna be basically I'll get this here and welded out and the framework put together, and then next video is gonna be basically putting the stove on it and getting that pipe cut out and clean the chimney. And but anyways, so I'll put you guys in time lapse and get after it. Okay, we got that all done, and but yeah, this is kind of what it's going to look like anyway. This is the one sheet, the other one's identical, and this is actually upside down right now, but the stove is going to sit on this end here where that bigger, I got it set up so the base of the stove straddles those support braces in there. And the only reason I put these in there because when I'm trying to reach the damper, I usually stand on there, and so that's the biggest reason I put that there. But otherwise, once I get these all these welds ground off, then I'll weld on my leveling feet on this side and give it a coat of paint. But yeah, it's getting there anyway. So anyways, I'm going to call her quits for tonight, and tomorrow take it outside because I don't feel like grinding in here. I don't like the grinder dust in the shop. It seems to get on everything, so if I can do the grinding outside, that's all the better. But anyways, so yeah, once I get her all ground down and get those legs welded on tomorrow and bring it back for welding the legs on, and that'll probably be it for this part done. Hey, so I'll see you when I go to put the legs on. Well guys, had this thing outside here this afternoon and ground all these welds off and cleaned it up, and I turned it over. Now I'm ready to just weld in my legs on here, so I'm just gonna put you on time lapse there and get this done, and we'll see what it looks like once I stand it over, put the bolts back in. Hey, we got the legs all welded on now, so I'm just gonna flip this thing over and see how it actually works. Yeah, so that's the whole gist of the leveling legs and the whole platform, and it actually worked so good that I made it to kind of fit the pallet jack, because now I can just go underneath here with the stove in there, and it's just easy enough to pick the thing up and move it around and level it and whatever else I need to do to it. So yeah, definitely it's going to work, but I think this video now has kind of got long enough, so I'm going to probably call quits on, we'll call this maybe just part 1 here, and so those pieces of sheet metal, they're going to get riveted onto here, and then the stove is going to sit on this here spot here, and then this here will be my platform that I can stand on. So yeah, it's definitely solid enough. Yeah, it should definitely work, but I'm going to probably wipe it all down with some acetone, and I'm going to probably paint it next couple days here. I've got a bunch of other stuff to do, and get it painted, let it cure and whatnot, and then I'll paint the sheet metal at the same time. And but then I gotta sand it down just a little bit, and I'm gonna give it a coat of just black, just paint it all black or flat black or something. Doesn't matter, gloss or flat. Yeah, get it all painted up, and then part 2 is gonna be actually mounting the stove on here and cleaning the chimney and replacing part of the chimney. Okay, well, hopefully you guys kind of like this here build anyway, and we're going to have some more interesting stuff here in the near future. It'll be a little bit more on track of fixing the old junk that I'm usually doing. But yeah, it's kind of one of those things. So yeah, if you like what you're seeing, hit that subscribe and share, like, and all that stuff, and we'll catch you guys on that part 2 on this here. And like I said, I got some other stuff in the works here, and I said I got to get that head put back together. I'm not ready to put it on that engine yet. I'm still waiting here. Got to get parts for that yet. Kind of, some parts are back ordered, and especially machine work, it's getting kind of costly. So, but anyways, so yeah, that's what we're gonna probably in the next month or so. We're gonna working that head gasket on this, and hopefully it doesn't have a bent connecting rod or anything, because before I got the thing, they tried pull starting it and blew the head gasket out of it. So I obviously had coolant in the cylinder. But yeah, that's for another video. That's going to be coming up in the near future. But yeah, so otherwise, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you guys in the next one.